All right, welcome back. We are going to do the test of the pH meter against the pH strips with different colors of hot sauces. These are hot sauces that I have made previously. This was apple with Reaper, which gave a very nice white colored hot sauce. This was similar to the one that I made, a Tabasco type hot sauce. It's a little bit darker because I added a little bit of balsamic vinegar. Didn't really add much to the flavor, but definitely made it browner. And then this one was a cherry hot sauce that I made, and it's got a nice deep red from the cherry skins. They were sour cherries. All right, so let's see what the pH is and whether we can get a pH reading off of our strips, and whether the pH meter will help us better with hot sauces than the strips. I will do the pH with the strips first, because I did notice last time that my way of reading the strips was slightly biased by knowing what the pH meter had already told me. I have heard that it is also a good idea, maybe when you dip it and it's too full of color, to wipe it off, that it might give us a better color profile that we can see with the strips. Not sure if that works so well, but we'll do that as well. I won't dip it in any water, because then you're just adding a neutral thing to it, and that'll change the pH that you're expecting anyway, so that's pointless. The water is here only to rinse off my meter between tests so that I can have a common ground. I have already calibrated using the pH 4, pH 7 of this meter, so we know it's okay. And for the test, I'm going to start off here with vinegar. So let's start off, and let's take a small strip of this, pop it in the vinegar, and we immediately have a reading here, somewhere between 2 and 3. Let's try and give you that a picture. Closer to 3, I would guess. Okay, so let's see what our pH meter says. Just give it a bit of a wash down with water, shake it loose, shake it dry rather. And this one gives me a reading of 2,7. All right, so I took a moment just to quickly make a little table again, so that we've got something to compare to. So the strips were between 2 and 3, and the meter was 2.7. So now to move on to the apple and Reaper. It's a little bit thicker, as you can see. Wipe it off. I'm getting a reading that I would guess about 3. Let's try with our meter now. There you go, got a nice 3,3. So here was a 3, and this was a 3,3. Okay. So, not too bad when it came to the whiter hot sauce. Now let's move on to the browner one. Nice dip. Try and wipe off some of this color. Well, with the brownish of the sauce, I'm tending to think 4, between 3 and 4, but that could be the color of the sauce itself. Between 3 and 4. All right, so let's test the meter now. Give it a stir around. Nice old 3,6. Right, 3.6. So, for the brown hot sauce, not too bad. Do have to wipe it off though. It's kind of... Okay, now for my cherry hot sauce, which is very similar to the blue currant or blackcurrant hot sauce that I did. Let's try and get it in that juice. Okay, so that's what it looks like when you dig it out. Where would you put that one? About a 2. Between a 1 and a 2, I'd reckon. Whoops, dropped off. Well, let's go check what this is. Get it on that little ball that they've got inside there. Got a 3.2. pH was about 2. This is 3,2. All right, so looking at the results, when you're looking at the strips, you can get a reading. And especially when it's the lighter colored sauces, you're doing okay. When it becomes a little bit darker, that the color of the strip starts to become the color that you are reading as actually the color of the sauce, and not so much the color of the pH anymore, then depends on how accurate you want to be. The pH meter always comes through with a value and that you can work off of, and I know that all of my sauces are still well underneath the 4 pH reading, which means they're still shelf stable, at least stable, and I can continue to consume them to my heart's desire. I bought this Apera meter off of Amazon. It is one that Chili Chump used in his videos, and he has been very happy with it, and I must admit I am happy with this instrument as well. This is not a paid advert for this thing, it's just the one I happen to use. Always remember to add a little bit of solution, calibration solution, or solution that they send along with this to store it, so that the little bubble on the inside, there's a little glass bubble that you can see. I'm not sure if you would be able to see it on the camera, but I'll get in there nice and close. You don't want that to dry out. It has been said that even if it does dry out, just leaving a little bit of water for a while will sort it out, and it will continue to give you very good readings. So there we go, guys. The choice is yours as to what you would like to do. I know my choice, but you are welcome always to use that when you are playing with liquids of that color. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the side-by-side comparison of the strips and the pH meter, both with just water having acid added to it, as well as the different colors of sauces that I have available. so that you can see and choose what sort of instrument would be the best for your home production of hot sauces.
Well, that's the end of this side-by-side comparison. I do hope you found it informative. If you don't mind just giving me a thumbs up, just let me know that there is at least somebody out there that's watching these videos. Have a great 2022, guys. All the best. Cheers. Well, that's the end of this side-by-side comparison. I do hope you found it informative. If you don't mind just giving me a thumbs up, just let me know that there is at least somebody out there that's watching these videos. Have a great 2022, guys. All the best. Cheers.